Truck Robinson and Aaron James, the forwards. Eric and Chris Ford, and it will be Ford who will play against Maravich defensively. The backcourt for Bob Kaufman's Pistons. Lanier, of course, at center. And John Shoemate and M.L. Carr playing in place of the injured Gus Gerard are the forwards. And off the tip, the ball rolls out of bounds and will belong to New Orleans. Goodrich will make the inbound play. Gale will be 35 years of age in April. He's the oldest starting guard in the NBA. Kelly to Maravich. The bounce for Goodrich, slapping at it with Shoemate, but Goody comes up with it. Money on Kelly. There's a mismatch, and Kelly misses from the outside. There's M.L. Carr to pull in the rebound. Scoreless game, first minute of quarter number 1 at the Superdome. The Jazz beat Portland here on Friday night. Carr losing it on the drive, and Kelly coming up with it. Maravich ahead to James. James finding Robinson. A shot of his own, but he wisely passed it up with a good assist, Stu.
Yes, he did, and that's the sort of thing that becomes contagious on a basketball floor.
Eric Money, great penetrator, outstanding quickness. Trying to bounce it to Carr, but it's off ML's legs and out of bounds. An eye injury has left Gus Gerard back in Detroit. So he's watching this game on TV, and M.L. Carr, who had lost his starting job to Gerard when Gerard arrived from Buffalo in the Marvin Barnes trade, is back in the opening 5 for Bob Kaufman. This is Truck Robinson. He has all 4 of the Jazz points. He's averaging better than 20 a game. Maravich at 27.9 leading the league, and Robinson averaging 16.3 rebounds to go along with his scoring totals. Lanier against Kelly. Finding Money. Eric Money with the assist from Bob Lanier, and Detroit is on the scoreboard.
Another dimension of Bob Lanier is his great passing ability. There he hit the open man for an easy basket.
Goodrich with a fake on Ford, and the jumper goes in and out. Goodrich is hitting 49% from the field this year, highest percentage in his NBA career. Maravich playing the D on Ford. Carr is an excellent driver, and he showed it there going around James. But the basket will not count. There's M.L. Carr picking himself up off the floor after being called for an offensive foul.
Here you see Aaron James coming over and getting good position, and the driver running right into him for the offensive foul. That's good team defense, helping one another out.
Carr will try and do that repeatedly. He's very quick, much quicker than most forwards who are playing defensively, and he's able to get by on the drive very frequently. Goodrich from Maravich. Lanier comes out on a switch. Aaron James. In and out for him. Lanier with the rebound, and he's shoved out of bounds. They're going to say Jazz ball. Bernie Fryer's call, enraging Bob Lanier. Bernie Fryer, the younger of the 2 officials working today's game, the veteran Darrell Garrettson, is with him.
Well, Bob was a little off balance there, and he thought he was pushed out of bounds.
James out to Maravich, who has yet to launch his first shot. Wanted to there, instead had to pass off, and Carr comes up with the interception. Shoemate. And Lanier. Doesn't draw iron on his drive. Kelly comes away with the ball. Now it's Maravich dishing off to James. Blocked away by Shoemate. No goaltending, clean block. Excellent defensive play by Shoemate as he caught up with the flow, and now Money pops. Carr will follow, and a foul inside, says Darrell Garrettson, which will send M.L. Carr to the free throw line. Both teams running as much as they can at the outset, and we'll look again at Shoemate's defensive play.
And this is a very good defensive play by John Shoemate. He could have very easily given up, but he ran down the floor and made a great defensive play.
Carr at the line, where he's a 70% man. Graduate of Guilford College in North Carolina. He hits the first, and this one could tie it. It does. 9 minutes and 28 seconds to play in quarter number 1 at the Superdome, even up at 4 as Goodrich walks it to the front court. Aaron James, who had 26, his high mark for the year on Friday night in the win over Portland. And an offensive foul is called against Aaron James as he made the pass off, his first foul.
The reason that was an offensive foul was Gail Goodrich did not wait before he came off of the pick, and consequently got James an offensive foul.
Lanier out high, and Kelly comes out to watch him. You can't leave him loose out there. He's a great outside shooter for a big man. Kelly slapping it away after Lanier got by him on the drive. And Goodrich comes away with the ball. Maravich missing his first shot of the day. M.L. Carr on a 2-on-2. He'll fire. And Kelly has a rebound inside of Lanier. Carr got his hand on the outlet pass. Money comes up with the ball in Garrett's size, and he's able to reach out and get in the way of those passing lanes very effectively.
Yes, he does. He anticipates very well, and that's one of the things from a defensive standpoint that you have to do, and he does it exceptionally well.
Money fouled in the backcourt, has 2 coming. The Pistons have run 5 in a row and have a 5-4 lead as Money misses the second of 2, and Robinson has a rebound. He'll have plenty of those before today is over. Maravich, yes. Pete Maravich has taken far more shots than any other player in the NBA, both last year and this year. He's putting them up at the rate of 26 a game, but he's also averaging 28 points a game. Maravich fouling that time against Money. Number 1 on Pete.
On that particular play, had Pete just held his position and not reached in, he may have got a charge, but when he reached in, that committed himself.
Ford whirling and getting it inside to Lanier. Lanier's first 2 of the afternoon. The last time these 2 clubs played, on December 18th here, Lanier had a season-high 37. But Kelly, who played very well against Bill Walton in the victory Friday night, has pretty much neutralized Lanier so far. Money slapping Goodrich's dribble away and coming up with a steal. It's a 4-on-2 break, and Carr takes it in.
Now, that was an excellent play by Eric Money. Went to the hole, penetrated, and got the man to come over to him and dished off for the easy layup.
9-6 in favor of the Pistons. James against Carr. Aaron James hit it. It counts, and he is fouled on the play. Could be a 3-point opportunity for Aaron James, who has been hitting 64% from the field in his past half-dozen games.
Here he gets the ball down low and gives him a little head and shoulder, gets him off the floor, and then once you do that, you're in trouble. Makes the easy basket.
Free throw by James completes the 3-point play. 7:45 to play in the quarter. We're even up at 9. Lanier again against Kelly. Kelly playing that tough D, denying him the shot. Shoemate in the lane. Robinson with the foul. Truck Robinson knocked the ball away, but also got a part of the body of John Shoemate. That Marvin Barnes deal, Stu, looks like an excellent one for Detroit. They get Shoemate, Gerard, and a first-round draft choice in 1979 for Marvin Barnes, who is yet really to become a productive player for any club in the NBA.
Exactly, and I think Detroit is very happy with the deal. Gerard and Shoemate have contributed very much to the team this year, and with the addition of the 1979 first-round pick, they're in a pretty good position.
Shoemate, the former Notre Dame great, put the Pistons in front by 1 with the first one, and now by 2. Robinson inbounding to Goodrich. And Aaron James. Money watching Goodrich. Shot clock winds down to 10 seconds. Maravich, Kelly trying to set a screen for him. The return to Kelly off the drive. Rich Kelly misses, and Lanier is there to pull it down. Lanier outside. That is not beyond his range. Takes it in on the drive, and Robinson has another rebound. In the last 20 years, only one forward has led the NBA in rebounding. That was Elvin Hayes. Robinson might become the second. Goodrich with a rare rebound off the Maravich miss, and Goody lays it in. Elgin Baylor has to approve as he looks on from the New Orleans bench. Tied again at 11. Lanier backing in on Kelly, and Kelly smacking it away. 2-on-1, Goodrich and Maravich back and forth. Goody for the layup, and Maravich for the kick. Credit to 2 points to the pistol, and the Jazz lead 13-11.
Now that is the way to run a 2-on-1 fast break. You don't keep the ball in one spot, you keep it moving, and it makes the defensive man commit himself early.
Ford yelling out the set play as he brings it across, the veteran from Villanova. Money can't handle Lanier's pass, and on the turnover, the ball belongs to the Jazz. They want a timeout now with 6 minutes and 13-11, and the key so far for the Jazz remaining in the game has been that Kelly has done such an outstanding job defensively against Lanier, Stu.
Kelly has played him extremely well thus far. We're halfway through the period, and I tell you, he's really held his own.
Ford has the defensive assignment on Maravich. James. He hit a shot from just in that same spot with 9 seconds to go on Friday night to beat Portland 101-100. Shoemate couldn't handle Ford's pass, and that is the 7th Piston turnover.
Yes, the Pistons have been in trouble with turnovers all season, and they've got to cut down their mental mistakes if they want to reach a shot at the playoffs this year.
Money on Goodrich. Robinson from 22. Got his own rebound. Won't fall for it. And it will belong to the Pistons as they lose it out of bounds.
Yes, the Jazz are hitting the boards awfully well, but the key to the Jazz thus far has been their defense. They've played extremely good team defense.
Ford bouncing to a driving Money. Out to Carr, and now Money from the side. Ford up high. Pistons have not had very much shooting success in the first quarter. Money was trying to draw the offensive foul, but they call him for a block instead.
Okay, right here you see that Gale receives the ball, and Eric Money did not give Gale the step he needed to change directions, and that is the rule in the NBA.
The Pistons are 9-9 since Bob Coughlin, their general manager, took over as interim head coach following the firing of Herb Brown. Goodrich connects from the line. And the Jazz lead by 4 at 15-11. 5.5 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Lanier in the lane. Shoemate with good position inside, and he follows Lanier's miss for his second basket. Shoemate has 4 points.
Once the ball goes up, they must block off because John Shoemate is a very good offensive rebounder.
Kelly trying to screen for Maravich. That's all the room Pistol needs. Kelly comes up with the rebound. James on the follow. They got 3 cracks at it, and finally Aaron James finds the home. Lanier again. Tries the hook this time. The big guy not enjoying a good first period. Another rebound for Robinson, who has 5 so far. Ford got in the way and picked off the pass intended for Kelly. Pistons hurrying back. Money stopping and missing. Ford. Goodrich all over him, but Chris Ford connects.
Chris Ford intercepted that ball on the other end of the floor by simply anticipating where the ball was going to go.
New Orleans by a bucket and with the ball. Their fans here are wild. They have really come out to support Elgin Baylor's club. M.L. Carr with a good steal. Kelly's going to try and catch him. He does, but he fouled him. It would have been a 3-point play had the shot fallen. Kelly comes over to check on M.L. Carr. I really like the way M.L. Carr plays, Stu.
Yes, he plays very smart. You can't beat intelligence on the basketball floor. And here again, you see Kelly with the ball at the top of the key. M.L. anticipates the ball going over there, cuts through the middle, intercepts it, and has his way to an easy layup. Kelly comes down, tries to make a good save, hits him on the leg, causes him to miss the shot, but he will shoot 2. Bob, both teams so far have been playing very good defense. I think the thing that's hurt the Pistons thus far is they haven't been blocking off on the offensive end, and the Jazz have been getting 2 and 3 shots at it.
Carr began his professional career in the ABA with the now defunct Spirits of St. Louis, then moved on to Detroit last season in the ABA dispersal draft, which took place following that league's folding. 2 free throws even at 17. Milwaukee and Chicago tied at 18 with 2.5 left in the first quarter. Ford trying to stay with Maravich. Kelly out high. Shot clock down to 6 seconds. 3 seconds to shoot. Maravich will have to. James battling for the rebound. Goodrich. Robinson inside. Kelly got his hand on an attempted tip, but it comes out to the Pistons. Money playing with much more control this year, Bob Kaufman tells me, than he has in the past, and that has always been the rap against him. A talented player, but sometimes out of control. Lanier rebounds Carr's miss, and he's held by Kelly. The foul on New Orleans.
Number 53.
Cleveland leads Atlanta 22-18 with 1:30 to go in the first period of that game. Atlanta won the only NBA game played last night. They beat Indiana at home 111-100. Atlanta is 21-25, 2 percentage points in front of the Jazz, who are 20-24 in the Central Division. They both trail first place San Antonio by 6 games. The Pistons at 18-24 are 10 back of the pace set by Denver in the Midwest. The 2 free throws by Lanier put the Pistons up by a field goal. 3:15 to play in the quarter. Shoemate on Robinson.
Foul is called.
Robinson fouled as he went up for the shot, and he'll go to the line for 2.
On that particular play, it seemed like, yes, here it is. And we get a look at it. Shoemate is playing pretty good defense right here, and he's reaching in, and he goes for a little fake. Gets off his, no, he doesn't get off his feet. It looked like it could have gone the other way. It looked like Robinson may have jumped into him.
In 42 of the 44 New Orleans games so far this year, either Truck Robinson or Pete Maravich has been the leading scorer. Goodrich has led the club in 1 game, and James led them on Friday night against Portland. Other than that, Robinson or Maravich, always the main man. Lanier down the lane with that finger roll. Just too much for Kelly that time.
Yes, but on the weak side, somebody should have came over and helped Kelly, because you do not want to let Lanier get into the middle. Once he starts his move, you can easily pick up the offensive foul if you just stand there.
Maravich losing the dribble. And on the turnover, Detroit gets it back. They lead by a pair at 21-19, 2:45 to play in the quarter. Money coming in baseline. In a crowd, he was hammered and fouled. He took it right into 3 white shirts at 6 feet tall.
Okay, here he goes baseline. He's looking and see if the guy comes over to pick him up. No one becomes available for the pass, so he gets the shot up to the basket and gets the foul also.
The foul was on Kelly, which was his 3rd, and that's Joe C. Merriweather coming into the game from Southern Illinois University. Merriweather, with his 3rd NBA team in as many seasons, started with Houston as a rookie, last year with Atlanta, and now with the Jazz. 3 chances to make 2 for Money, with the Jazz over the limit. Missed the first, made the second. And now the penalty shot. 2 out of 3, and it's 23-19. Detroit up by 4. Merriweather out high. You can see he's a much more slender player than is Kelly. Robinson missing from 20. Merriweather rebounding over Lanier. And Money comes away with the ball. At 6 feet, he had good position on the 6'9" Aaron James. Ford flipping back to Money. Yes. Good assist by Chris Ford, and the basket from Money gives him 7 points, and the Pistons open a 6-point gap. Here you see Maravich calling for the set play as he comes across. Right around Ford. Quick first step by Maravich got him past Chris Ford to the hoop.
Yes, it did. They want him to go baseline, but that time he made a very good shot.
Maravich has scored 6. Ford to Lanier. Running one-hander by Lanier is good. He has such a soft touch for a man that big. 6'11" and 270. He shoots like a 6-foot guard.
Yes, he does. He's an amazing talent.
27-21 Detroit. James from way outside. Aaron James switches it from there. He has really improved as a shooter.
Yes, he has. You see him shoot that shot, and you wonder about the validity of him shooting it, but he gets it done every time.
Ford to Lanier. And Lanier now is picking up the tempo. He started very slowly. But first against Kelly and now against his substitute Merriweather, he's begun to come on. Milwaukee 27, Chicago 24, end of the first. Maravich. The Pistons hit 2 in a row. 29-25. Truck Robinson gets credit for the assist on that bucket. Lanier's going to try and do it again. Passes off to Shoemate. Yes, and it counts when he is fouled on the play. Shoemate hammered as he went up. But as a good player will, he followed through on the shot. And a rather unlikely basket was scored. He was off balance as he hit it.
Here again, Bob Lanier goes to the middle, makes a very good pass, and here's where Shoemate is most effective. If you can get him down low there, he's strong enough, he has good body control, and he gets the foul and the basket.
A 3-point play would put Detroit up by 7 with 55 seconds to go in the quarter. 7 points for Shoemate. Bob Kaufman has gone with his starting lineup the entire first period. Hasn't made a single substitution. Merriweather, the only sub used by Elgin Baylor. Maravich from 20. Robinson, another rebound. So strong, he's just able to muscle people out of there.
He's so strong, so quick, and he gets that ball and he knows what to do with it once he gets it.
They signed him as a free agent after he had played out his option. began with Washington. They traded him midway through last season to Atlanta for guard Tom Henderson. He played extremely well for the Hawks, averaged 22 points and 12 rebounds, but they couldn't sign him, and the Jazz did. Shoemate missing. Maravich comes out with the ball. 12 seconds to play in the quarter. It's a 4-on-1. Maravich to Merriweather. Money fouled him, which wasn't a bad play.
Number 14, Eric Money.
At least it prevents the certain 2 points.
Exactly. That was exactly. Maravich penetrates down, stops at the free throw line, gives a good pass to Josie Merriweather, who is about to go up and dunk the ball. Eric Money reaches in, grabs him on the wrist, and causes the foul.
Denver leads the Knicks at the end of the first period, 32-31. Full slate of action today in the NBA, and much of it covered here on CBS with regional telecasts. Merriweather hits the first. 9 seconds remaining. So the Pistons will have ample time to get off the period's final shot. The Detroit lead is 4 at 32-28. Ford losing it. James picking it up. 2 seconds. 1 second for Goodrich to fire. It counts. It counts. A 35. Trying to go around him. Comes up way short. And Robinson pulls it down.
That was the intimidation of Josie Merriweather. He switched over, caused Emil Carr to throw up a shot that missed by a foot.
Goodrich is back in, and Maravich gets his first rest. So it's Goodrich and Watts at the guards now for the Jazz. From the corner, Robinson short, and Ford is there for the line drive rebound. Money on the run. Lanier tried to bat it to Carr. Money comes out with the loose ball and 2 points.
That's like being in the right place at the right time. The ball bats off the board, comes right back to the player that makes the initial bad pass, and he gets the basket.
At halftime, Cleveland leads Atlanta 45-38. A whistle as Robinson makes his move, and Truck took too many steps.
He had his mind made up. He was going to the basket that time, and it's a good thing they called traveling because he was on his way.
Lanier. Robinson, yet another rebound. Watts on the run. Slick all the way. Yes, and it counts, and he is fouled on the play.
That's the thing that Slick Watts brings to a basketball team. If you allow him to penetrate, he will hurt you. Here we have him coming down. No one comes up and stops the penetration, so he just takes it all the way, gets the foul and the basket.
On the season from the line, Slick Watts is shooting only 55%. Kind of a surprising total. But he hits this one to complete the three-point play. 54-51, the Jazz cut it to 3 with 1:45 to play in the half. Douglas, Robinson made him change that shot. He didn't block it, but he made him change it. And now Robinson intercepts the attempted saving pass by Lanier. Good work all around by the truck. Carr back with a steal at the other end. Turnover stats at halftime are going to be interesting for both clubs. Here's Lanier with daylight. You don't give him that kind of room and expect to get away with it.
No, you don't. You must go after him when he receives the basketball and ask him to pass the ball. Please pass the ball, Bob. Don't shoot it.
14 for Lanier after a slow start. Goodrich behind a Griffin screen. Could have been goaltending, and it was. Douglas went up to grab that too soon, and Goodrich gets a gift, 2 points.
That was a very good call by the officials because the ball was still in the cylinder.
8 points for Goodrich. Money takes it from Lanier. Finds Douglas, who went for the stuff, but Griffin went right up to meet him. He fouled him, but he prevented the 2 points.
90% of the time, if you get the basketball down there, you're going to get fouled. Here you see Money going over, making the good pass. Leon Douglas goes up very strong, and he says, if you're going to block it, elsewise I'm dunking.
Unofficially, the turnovers so far, Detroit has made 11. New Orleans 10. Douglas from the line. Got it. Douglas was the 4th selection overall and the first center chosen in the 1976 college draft. Those taken before him were John Lucas by Houston, Scott May by Chicago, and Richard Washington by Kansas City.
He makes a pair, and on the season, he's not a very good free throw shooter. He's only shooting around 62%.
Watts down the lane. Watts with penetration. Got his own rebound somehow. And finally, Money comes out with it. 30 seconds to play in the half as Ford fires. Yes. Chris Ford has 6 points. And the Pistons are in front by 7.
Eric Money is so quick, he sometimes has to wait on his teammates to come down and help him out. He's 1-on-4 sometimes coming down the floor.
Goodrich. There you see the time, lower right-hand corner of your screen. Lanier on Goodrich. Now Watts has to force one, and time runs out, and they never get the game for either club. Money on Goodrich. So many great years with the LA Lakers, and some period of time, of course, with Phoenix as well. Maravich around Ford, then pulling up for the jumper. Not too many can shoot off the dribble better than Pistol Pete.
Not too many can shoot anyway as good as Pistol Pete.
Shoemate from Money, trying to get it into Carr. And a 3-second violation is called on the Pistons.
That's a very good call, because I tell you, if he wouldn't have made that call, they were going to either get 2 free throws or a basket, because again, they were in very deep.
Just about a minute gone by in the third quarter. And Money trying to reach in. Fouls Goodrich. Not a good foul, Stu.
Well, not out this high on the floor. He's 46 feet from the basket and being played very tight and reach in with a little silly foul. So I don't think it should have been he should have fouled him in that situation.
On Friday night in the Jazz locker room, Goodrich was holding the basketball, which he shot to score his 17,000th career point a few games ago. Around by James is good off the glass. He is emerging as a scorer for this Jazz team in the past month or so.
And they can use that because they need that outside shooting threat from the forward situation to help complement Robinson.
Carr outside, faking on James. And lobbing to Lanier. Lanier tried to muscle Kelly with the body, but Big Bob was looking for a foul call, which he didn't get. Kelly beat him down the floor and stuffed it. Lanier complained on that play and hung around near midcourt while Kelly hustled back down and got the dunk.
Exactly, and that's the thing about it. You cannot stop to complain on the basketball floor. If you're going to complain, wait until the ball is dead, because while you're complaining, the other team is going the other way.
New Orleans intercepted Detroit's inbound pass, and here's the Jazz with the ball. A basket here cuts the Detroit lead to 1. Kelly following Robinson's shot, 1-point ball game. At 62-61, the Jazz have scored 8 in a row.
I tell you, Rich Kelly's having some kind of a weekend. He came up against Portland's Bill Walton and Bob Lanier, and he has really played very well.
Lanier drawing triple coverage, which leaves Ford wide open, but he blew it. Rebound Robinson, and ahead of the field is James. In a couple of seconds, New Orleans is going to lead this game. They do 63-62.
And the way they're doing it, they're starting to swarm the ball on defense, and they're getting that easy basket I was talking about earlier.
Chuck Robinson now has 14 rebounds. He grabbed that one and heaved it up court for the layup by James. Carr from 22 feet. Air ball. Picked up by Ford, and he misses. Kelly there for the rebound. The outlet to Maravich, 3-on-1. Money the only man back. Maravich to Goodrich. Carr got in the way, broke it up. Goodrich a jumper. Yes! 65-62, 12 unanswered points. In the first 3 minutes and 9 seconds of the third quarter, Detroit has not scored a field goal. They have only 2 free throws by John Shoemate in the half so far. Money against Goodrich. Shot clock inside 10 seconds as Money connects finally. Got a good roll on the shot.
Yes, he did. It's a good thing because he was dribbling the basketball a little too much, and that enables the Jazz to play the good team defense, and the ball stays in one spot.
Jazz leads by 1. Maravich around Ford for the jumper. Kelly battling with Shoemate, and Kelly knocked it out of bounds. He didn't come up with that ball, but once again he showed great desire on the play still.
Yes, he does. I tell you, he can't do anything any better because he is playing a very good basketball game.
Money again, good again. Eric Money with 2 in a row to put Detroit back in front at 65 rather. 8 minutes exactly remaining in the third quarter. 15 points for Eric Money. Maravich. Shoemate with the rebound. M.L. Carr will bring it out of the backcourt.
Here again, the Pistons are making the Jazz slow it up. When they slow it up, they're not quite as effective as when they can get that running game going.
Lanier, double team, finds Shoemate, and a whistle as Shoemate makes a move.
The foul is called on number 21, Truck Robinson.
Darrell Garrettson whistles Truck Robinson for a foul, his second. It'll be piston ball on the side.
There will be fouls like that when you have a swarming defense, the way the Jazz are playing it right now. They just don't want to get themselves in a bad foul situation.
Carr watched by James. ML has a very quick first step. They're going to call him for an offensive foul as he tried to whirl around James. Apparently he threw an elbow. Maybe we can see it again.
Here is James playing the good defense. He's got his hand up, and you see that ML Carr uses his right elbow to what we call hooking, and that is not allowed.
Goodrich tosses to Robinson. The Truck back to Gail Goodrich. And Aaron James given room by Carr. He takes the bait but misses. Carr is there for the rebound. They come out quickly. Money on the front end of it. Money will fire. 3 in a row for Eric Money. 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. And now trailing 62-53. The Jazz ran off 12 in a row. And now the Pistons have answered with 6 straight to reclaim the lead at 68-65. Elsewhere, Philly 53, Golden State 46, 9.5 to play in the third, 7:15 left in the third. The Knicks have gone in front of Denver by 1, 68-67. Money on Goodrich. Kelly wanted to shoot. Lanier got in his way. Robinson inside, and he's fouled as he goes up for the shot.
That was a very lucky play. And he almost comes down and travels with the ball, but finds Robinson on the underneath the basket, and he gets a 2-shot foul. In the first half alone, Robinson had 5 offensive rebounds. He is an amazing rebounder, and he is just that, a rebounder. He gets rebounds because he goes after them. There are other players that get rebounds because the ball comes to them. That's the difference between a guy who gets rebounds and a rebounder.
The 2 free throws give Robinson 16 points. And cut the lead down to 1 at 68-67. Loose ball, who will it belong to? The Jazz will have it. Shoemate couldn't keep it in.
I think he thought Pistol was going to make a dive for it, and he didn't want to be close to it.
A basket here would put New Orleans back in front. Inside Robinson. Couldn't quite get it down. Carr comes out with the ball, but Darrell Garrettson will call a loose ball foul on Truck Robinson. That's his 3rd personal foul. Team foul number 3 on the Jazz, and piston ball from the side.
That's not a bad foul at all. That's the kind of foul that a coach doesn't mind seeing, because you're really going after the basketball in that situation, and sometimes you don't get called for it. You get the easy basket.
Ford against Maravich. He gives him room, and Ford misses another rebound for the Truck.
You notice how he went after the ball. He was on the other side of the basket, but he came to the ball.
Maravich with his own rebound, and then he's hammered. A loose ball foul is going to be called against Detroit. Bob Lanier, his first personal.
Here you see Pistol going down. He's alone. He's got a forward on him, so he picks it up and shoots a long jumper, and no one checks him out. He goes, gets his own rebound, and a foul by Bob Lanier.
Truck Robinson banking one in as we come back. 18 for Robinson. 69-68, the Jazz back in front. New Orleans went to the final 9 seconds with Portland on Friday night before pulling one out 101-100. We could be headed for the same type of finish in this one. Little Eric Money, guarded by Goodrich and Kelly. Ford is open. James takes him on a switch, but Ford gets around him and hits off glass.
When they had him double-teamed in the corner there, they had Money double-teamed. I really thought they were going to intercept the ball, because if you get in that situation, you're really putting the defense to the advantage.
The lead seesaws back and forth now. Detroit by 1 at 70-69. And Lanier coming up with the ball. Waiting for the traffic to clear and throwing it out to Chris Ford. Slick Watts is going to check back in shortly. He's at the scorer's table now for the Jazz. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. Ford in the corner. Carr way outside against James. And Goodrich reached in for the foul as Carr cut across the lane. There's Slick Watts. He'll put that headband on. Keep the skin out of his eyes.
Well, they're bringing Slick in the game right now. I think they want to up the tempo again. They want to get the running, because once they set up, Detroit plays pretty good defense on them.
Goodrich goes out after committing that foul. Lanier takes the turnaround way off the mark. Kelly was sent sprawling. The basket will count. A goaltending call, and the basket went in anyway.
Now, that's the type of situation. Here you see it again. Lanier turns, goes up to High Archer. Thought he was fouled. He goes after it. Money gets the rebound. Robinson touches it, but he goes in anyway.
72-69, the Pistons by 3. Maravich having trouble with his footing. Watts getting it out to Robinson. The truck with the turnaround. Shoemate with the block. Out of bounds. Jump ball, says Bernie Fryer.
Now, that's not a bad call by the official. You know, he really wasn't sure who hit it last, so that's the best thing to do in that situation is to jump it up. That was a very good defensive play by John Shoemate.
Shoemate at 6'9", Robinson at 6'7", and Shoemate tips it over to M.L. Carr. 4:15 to play in the third quarter. Superdome in New Orleans. Bob Costas with Stu Lance, and the Pistons lead the Jazz 72-69. New Orleans in white, the Pistons in the dark uniforms. Eric Money missing, and Rich Kelly has the rebound over Bob Lanier. Robinson brings it up. Maravich from the side. Jumper over Carr.
Once he gets into his act, he is an amazing player.
18 for the pistol, who's averaging 27.9. Ford into Carr. Doesn't count. 3-second violation against Detroit before the bucket.
M.L. thought Chris Ford was going to shoot the basketball and had great offensive position, and he was standing in the lane. And when Chris passed him the ball, he was caught for 3 seconds.
Unofficial turnover stats, Detroit with 19, the Jazz with 17. New Orleans can reclaim the lead if they hit one here. Carr is on Kelly. Shot clock down to 5. 3. James shot rejected by Lanier, and Ford comes out with the ball. Chris Ford takes it in himself.
Now there's a situation where Chris didn't, the defense did not commit, so Chris kept the basketball until he did, and finally he ended up with a little 5-foot banker.
I think they paused momentarily because the horn went off for the 24-second violation, but by that time Ford had the ball, so instead of being Detroit ball on the side, it was simply Detroit ball with play continuing, and the Jazz were slow to get back on defense.
Well, as a player, you don't stop when you hear that horn. You only stop when you hear the whistle.
Lanier. In and out for him. Robinson, one more rebound. He's approaching 20. He's already passed his average of 16.3. Maravich, little one-hander, dainty as can be.
He has an arsenal.
73.
I say he has an arsenal of shots. He can shoot them from anywhere at any time.
20 points for the pistol and a one-point game at 74-73. Kelly fouls Carr, reaching in to try and take it away.
Now, in that particular situation, Kelly should not have reached in. You know, if you're going to switch out, make sure you just get the good defensive position, especially if you have 3 personal fouls. Now, that gives Kelly his 4th, and that's going to put him in a little trouble, although Joe C. Merriweather had an excellent first half.
Merriweather, who played pretty well, not quite as well as Kelly, I thought, but pretty well nonetheless, when he came in the second quarter, now makes his first appearance of the second half. Kelly goes out with 4 fouls, Merriweather in. That foul put New Orleans over the limit, so Carr shoots a pair. One more coming as he misses the first. Leon Douglas has come in replacing John Shoemate, so Douglas is at the power forward spot. Lanier the center, Carr the small forward. Money and Ford remain as the guards. 1 out of 2 for Carr. 75-73. Here come the Jazz looking for the tying basket. Maravich and Watts the guards. Griffin and James the forwards. That's Merriweather, the center, with it. Maravich to Griffin. Griffin looked like he walked with it. No call. Missed the shot. James tipped it in. We're tied at 75.
The Pistons were caught looking again. The ball went up, and no one went after it. And Aaron James got the rebound and tipped it right in.
I think they were expecting a traveling call against Griffin.
In this league, you learn not to expect anything.
Lanier inside. Offensive foul on the big guy. The ball goes back to the Jazz with 1:55 to play in the third quarter.
Bob likes to feel contact, and sometimes when he doesn't, he goes and gets the contact himself.
Slick Watts, who 2 years ago led the NBA in assists, brings it across. Merriweather out high. Maravich. He can put the Jazz in front. Not this time. Merriweather can. Blocked from behind by Ford. Good defensive play by Chris Ford. Blocking it away from the much bigger Merriweather. Now Ford trying to get it inside. Batted away. Money picks it up. Big scramble. Lanier comes out with the ball and 2 points.
That's a sheer case of strength winning out. The ball was loose. Bob just picked it up, turned strong to the middle, and an easy basket.
16 for Lanier. That's his first basket of the third quarter. 77-75 Detroit. Money on Maravich. Heat with a big height advantage. A foul on the play.
14, Eric Money, his fourth.
They're calling a foul on Eric Money on that particular play.
Maravich was trying to take advantage of the height differential there at 6'5" against the 6-foot Money. As soon as he saw that Money had moved over on him, he wanted to get that turnaround jumper away over Money. Money fouled him before he could. Maravich goes out, Goodrich back in. Here's Aaron James from 20, misses it all, and Lanier comes down with it. Al Skinner has come in now. He replaces Eric Money for Detroit. Skinner and Ford, the Piston guards. 50 seconds to play third quarter. M.L. Carr from 20. Rimming the basket, and Merriweather coming out with the ball. New Orleans again looking for the tying basket. Watts penetrating. Getting it to Goodrich. Goody brings the dribble back outside. Had no layup chance. Griffin. Carr tips it over to Skinner. 23 seconds to play in the quarter. Douglas out to Skinner. The shot clock is a couple of seconds behind the game clock. 15 seconds to play in the quarter. 13 seconds on the shot clock as Watts knocked it out of bounds. Skinner inbounds to Ford. In the lane, Lanier. Well, if you're going to get a guy, you might as well get him good, and they did. Merriweather on the personal.
He was hit very hard on that particular play. They made sure that he didn't get the three-point play. They're just going to give him the 2 free throws. On this end of the floor, I think the thing that's stopping the Jazz right now is when they set up, they're dribbling the basketball a little too much. They're keeping it in one person's hands. They've got to get the ball moving via the pass, and it'll make it easier for them to get the jumper.
Lanier, a 79% free throw shooter. He misses the first. He has 3 to make 2, however. One more coming.
Well, Bob shoots the ball so well, generally he doesn't need 3 to make the 2 because he's an excellent shooter from anywhere on the floor.
The Pistons by 4. 9 seconds as Watts comes across. Final shot of the quarter coming up. 4 seconds as Watts drives. Bernie Fryer with a whistle.
Number 35.
Al Skinner, the guilty party. His second. The penalty is in effect, and Watts goes to the line to shoot 2 with 3 seconds to play.
Slick was a little discouraged at himself because when he heard the whistle, he passed off, and all he had to do was throw it up toward the basket, and he would have had 3 to make 2 as opposed to the 1-and-1 for 2.
As we mentioned earlier, Watts is not shooting well from the line this year, and he misses this one. 56%. He has never been a great free throw shooter.
Well, actually, he hasn't been that good of an outside shooter. He likes to penetrate. You have got to make him shoot the outside shot.
1 second as Skinner heaves it up.
In the third quarter.
Up front, they have Merriweather, Griffin, and Truck Robinson. Skinner and Ford at the guards with Eberhard, Douglas, and Lanier up front as the fourth period starts for Detroit. And it's a 1-point game again, 79-78.
It amazes me that Lanier let him receive that basketball that deep.
Eberhard, a veteran from Missouri. Not a fancy player, obviously, but very rugged. Doesn't get the roll on that one. And Robinson tips it clear to Watts. Watts looked like he double-dribbled with it, and he did.
He definitely double-dribbled. What he wanted to do was pass it to Pete, but Pete had his head looking down the floor and didn't see Slick getting ready to pass him the ball, so he double-dribbled.
11:30 to play in the game. The Jazz have won 4 in a row. Into Douglas, good pass by Skinner, and a 3-point Piston lead.
That's the same play they tried in the first half and were successful on. It's a good play to use once or twice a half.
This is the second game of a 3-game road trip for Detroit. They lost at Houston on Friday night. They go to Washington for a Tuesday game, following this one here in New Orleans. Robinson against Leon Douglas. Douglas defensing him well. Griffin getting it back into Merriweather. Douglas hammers him, and Robinson can't find the handle. Everhard comes out with the ball as the Jazz fans scream for a foul in any one of three places. Ford improvises a hook, and Lanier touched it last as it went out of bounds.
For a fast break opportunity, the Pistons really didn't get anything out of that situation.
81-78 Detroit. 10:40 to play in the game. Watts guarded by Ford. Maravich back to Slick, 20-footer. Lanier and Merriweather outraces him for the ball. Griffin inside. Both ball for him, and Leon Douglas is there for the rebound. Ford now slowing the pace a bit as he brings it across. Lanier back to Ford, 20-footer wide open. Chris Ford makes it 83-78, Pistons by 5.
As soon as it went into Lanier, somebody caved in on him, and he knew whoever caved in, the other man had to be open. Give it right back to him for the easy jumper.
Maravich driving. Puts it up with the left hand as he runs right into Everhard. But the foul is going to be on Detroit.
Well, there was a definite charge on the play, but the official called a foul on Skinner prior to the charge. If we get to look, here it is here. He's going baseline. He's calling the foul on Skinner there, and there's the charge. That's why the charge does not take effect. He gets the first foul.
When you're as big and muscular as Everhard, you can afford to set yourself up to take some charges.
But over the course of the season, you pay the price.
Maravich hits them both. 22 for the Pistons. He needs about 6 more to reach his average. Skinner bringing it across. Watts all over him. Skinner about 4 inches taller. Everhard played by Griffin, and Robinson is on Douglas. Skinner over Watts. No luck on the shot. His own rebound. That one swatted away, and Watts comes out with the ball. Maravich. Merriweather trailing the play with the tip in. 7 for Merriweather, 83-82. Piston lead cut down to 1.
The Jazz transition from defense to offense has really been good. That's why they're getting those easy baskets on chip-ins. The Pistons aren't making the transitional game.
Everhard from 20. Al Everhard missing badly, and a rebounding foul against Detroit. Al Skinner trying to shove Slick Watts out of the way, commits his 4th foul. Team foul number 2 in the 4th quarter. 9:11 to play, and the Jazz once again can go in front if they come up with a basket here. They trail 83-82. Watts driving. He got through but couldn't hit it.
They're running a one-man front with Slick at the top so that when he penetrates, he can have a lot of room to operate and then dish off for the assist.
He hit the bottom side of the rim on that one, got down too deep. Lanier always draws the crowd. And Lanier tried to toss Slick Watts away like a little child who was hanging all over him. Sometimes it gets frustrating for Lanier. They gang up on him a bit, but of course, when you're that size and you're that good, you got to expect to draw a crowd.
Yes, you have to expect it. When you can do the things that Bob Lanier and so many others can do in the NBA, you have to expect to be double and triple teamed sometimes. Right now, I think on that particular play, Bob held the ball too long. Once he had committed his dribble, he should have passed it so he could have gone to the weak side and taken advantage of the misses match.
Eric Money in, Chris Ford out. Lanier with the long jumper. And Watts comes out with a bouncing ball. Maravich on his right. The pistol. Griffin comes up with it. Robinson keeping it alive, but it went out of bounds. Another illustration of Robinson's greatness as a rebounder. A lot of guys would have given up on that ball. It was already past him, but he reached all the way back to keep it alive.
He goes after the basketball. I tell you, he'd go to the restroom to get it if it went there.
Douglas has it poked away by Maravich, but right to Lanier. Lanier has not had an exceptionally good shooting game. Eric Money, on the other hand, has been hot in the second half, and he puts the Pistons in front by 3. Maravich in a hurry. Now he'll wait for his teammates to join him and set things up. Robinson has daylight. Good off glass.
The Pistons are getting back on defense now, but they're not matching up. They're looking for individual men instead of taking the man closest to them and letting somebody else take their man.
20 for Truck Robinson. Skinner on the drive, and back out to Douglas. Lanier again. Offensive foul on Bob Lanier.
Okay, here you see Bob receives the ball at the top of the key. Make the fake. Joe C. did not go for it, and he charged right into him. It's an excellent call by the official.
Shoemate back in. Lanier gets the rest. We'll see him again before this is over, obviously. 7.5 to play. 85-84 Detroit. Maravich. Out to Watts. And now Aaron James into Merriweather. Poked away from him by Shoemate. He and Skinner go after it. And a loose ball foul on Merriweather as he tried to get it back. Aaron James back in, replacing Paul Griffin. For New Orleans.
For those who say this isn't a contact sport, they should watch it. I tell you, there's a lot of contact out here today.
Leon Douglas. Taken away from him by Merriweather, who has played a good floor game. Maravich. He can put the Jazz in front. He was fouled by Eberhard.
No, that was an excellent move by Pistol. Came down, gives him a good head and shoulder fake. Waited for him to come down and takes it up. Here he's coming down. Actually, the defense should make Pistol commit. But you see it's a forward on him, so he's a little scared to go out and play him too close because of his speed. Gets him off his feet, draws the foul.
First foul on Eberhard, third on Detroit in the fourth quarter. This game is now even up at 85. And the Jazz have a one-point lead. Maravich has scored 24. Money watched by Watts. And the Superdome crowd coming to life once again. Douglas with the turnaround. Pretty shot by Leon Douglas.
That was an excellent move. If he could do that consistently, I tell you, he would really be a terror.
Not momentarily quiet. The fans in New Orleans, who are among the loudest in the NBA. Robinson has it knocked away. Money chasing after it with him, but Truck is able to retrieve it. Watts with room. Maravich, and hold on. 3-second violation against New Orleans. Douglas, John Shoemate up front for Detroit. Money and this man, Al Skinner, in the backcourt. Maravich, Watts, Robinson, Merriweather, and James for the Jazz. Out high, watched by Watts. Two 6-footers go at it, and then the big guy Merriweather comes over to settle the issue. Watts out with the loose ball. Robinson. Boy, can he hit that bank shot.
He can hit almost any shot. He is a tremendous talent. And I tell you, he's been a major factor in the ballgame thus far.
22 for Robinson. Skinner. And Aaron James out with the ball. Here comes Maravich in a hurry. Watts on his left. Pistol pulls up for the jumper. Yes! 90-87. The Jazz going for it by 3.
That's the thing about Pistol. You got a fast break situation. He doesn't hesitate. He'll pull up from 15, 20 feet on a fast break and shoot the jumper, where most players will take it all the way to the basket.
Money watched by Merriweather and James, leaving Eberhard to work on Maravich. Now back to Money. Eric Money has had a hot hand in the second half. Actually, they haven't gone to him that frequently, but he has hit everything he's taken.
He's been their clutch player thus far. Every time they need a basket, he's been the one that get it for them.
He's averaging almost 18 points a game, by far his best scoring season in the NBA. Money now playing Watts. Merriweather out to Maravich. Darryl Garrison, however, whistles in for a 3-second violation before Maravich got that shot away. 5:05 left in the game. 90-89, the Jazz by 1. Out high. Merriweather will let him shoot it from there if he wants to, which he does not. Skinner maneuvering against Maravich. Shot clock is down to 4 seconds. 2 seconds. Skinner forces one, and it almost fell through, but Maravich comes out with the ball. This is a 3-on-2. Maravich in the middle. Watts on his right. Slick to the bucket. And to Merriweather. Jazz up by 3.
That's the thing that the Jazz want. They want to get out and run because they know if they can get it out and get it in the hands of Pistol or Slick, somebody's going to get a layup or an easy basket.
Money against Watts again. Money maneuvering. Hold on. Bernie Fryer with a whistle. Slick Watts shakes his head in disagreement. Second personal on him. Number 3 on the Jazz.
There's a case where Money was trying to respond for that easy basket on the other end. He was going to be their clutch player again. He was looking for the offense.
We're down to 4:15 remaining as Eberhard lets it go. And Eberhard cuts the lead down to 1 at 92-91. Eberhard has scored 4. Atlanta leads Cleveland 85-84 with 4:29 to play in that game. Watts takes it inside, brings it back out. Takes the return from Maravich and misses. James up on the offensive board. James again with the ball. To Robinson. 3-second violation. You had to figure that was coming as much time as they spent in there grabbing offensive rebounds.
Yes, they were, but every time the ball hits the rim, the 3-second count stopped. And so, you know, there wasn't a lot of time passing after each shot.
Milwaukee out in front of Chicago, 94-77. 7 minutes to play in that game. End of the third, Denver leads the Knicks 92-90. Philly leads Golden State, start of the fourth quarter, 81-64. Cleveland and Atlanta now tied at 87, 2:40 left in that game. We've got 3:25 to play in our game, 92-91 Jazz. ML Carr, Eric Money, Bob Lanier. Swept away and stolen by Aaron James as Lanier goes down. Money on Maravich. 3:05 remaining. Maravich from 20. 94-91. Maravich has equaled his average. He has 28.
I tell you, Pistol will accept the challenge. If you're playing one-on-one like that, you're asking for a lot of trouble.
Offensive foul is called on Bob Lanier as he was trying to muscle Joe Merriweather inside. A lot of pushing and shoving going on, and Lanier draws his 4th personal. The Grand Slam of tennis with Pat Summerall and Tony Trabert following the NBA action on CBS.
I think Bob is just a little bit frustrated at this point. They're sending 2 and 3 guys in to get him, and he's being a little frustrated and losing his temper a little.
Maravich bouncing to Robinson, guarded by his teammate. Robinson no room to shoot, but Maravich will. He was fouled, and Skinner came out after him. So Maravich will go to the line, and Skinner commits number 5. Himself 30, and his team a 5-point lead if he hits both of them here. Friday, a New Orleans newspaper ran an item saying that Maravich might be on the trading block. Drew an angry response from Pete, who suggested that perhaps the Jazz should trade their general manager, Louis Chappelle, rather than him. Maravich has a no-trade clause in his contract, so he has to approve any deal anyway. ML Carr with a long one that doesn't drop, and Merriweather with a big rebound. The Jazz by 5, and they have the ball. 2:18 to play. You couldn't convince many people in the city of New Orleans that Pete Maravich ought to be traded.
Well, there's a situation where the Pistons really played good team defense, and the Jazz were not aware of the 24-second clock.
Move inside, 2 minutes now. Money. Good quick pass into Carr, but he couldn't handle it. Merriweather and Carr collide, and the ball goes to the Jazz. ML obviously not happy. Bob Hoffman in front of the Detroit bench. He and Dean Memminger were traded by the Jazz to Atlanta almost 4 years ago in the Maravich deal. Maravich from the side. Shoe made up with a rebound, and the Pistons are still alive. Money comes racing out of the backcourt. Lanier with a rebound. 96-93.
Now, this is where Bob Lanier will take over. If he's going to do it, he's got to start doing it right now. He could be very effective right now.
He has scored an even 20 points. Money against Watts. They can't afford to sit on it here. They need some points. Plenty of time for the Pistons. Maravich. Shoemate could not hang on to the rebound. Bob Hoffman screaming from the Detroit bench that a rebounding foul should have been called on Robinson of New Orleans.
Well, I tell you, the Jazz are hitting the boards awfully hard. There was a lot of contact on that particular play.
It's going to be Jazz ball out of bounds following this New Orleans timeout. Bob Hoffman plotting some strategy along the Detroit bench. We were talking about the Eastern Conference standing. There are only 4 teams in the East playing 500 ball or better. There are San Antonio and Washington in the Central, and Philadelphia and New York in the Atlantic. So actually the Jazz with a 20-24 record have a chance to be one of the other two playoff teams in the East if they play good ball in the second half of the year.
Right, the door is open. It's just a situation where which team takes advantage of the opportunity first. On that view that the viewers had a minute ago of Bob Kaufman drawing some plays, it's imperative that the Pistons get a good shot every time down the floor right now. And I think that's why he had him going through his plays.
Exactly a minute to play with New Orleans in control. They lead 96-93. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Watts holding the ball, guarded by Money. Money poking it away. Shot clock is down to 7. Watts from 25. Bad shot. Lanier the rebound. A basket here would cut it to 1 for the Pistons. 42 seconds to play. Skinner in the front court. Around a screen by Shoemate. Here's M.L. Carr. Shot clock down to 9 seconds. Watts reaching in, trying to take it away. Do we get a jump ball?
Jump ball.
Yes, we do. Now, that was a good defense again by the Jazz. They're keeping the ball in one person's hands, and when that happens, you can afford to sag over a little bit and help out team-wise. The Pistons have got to move the basketball via the pass and not the dribble.
Detroit wants a timeout, and really their failure to get off a shot quickly that time might cost them, because now, if they hope to get the ball back without fouling or without a turnover, they're going to have to get a shot off in about 5 seconds after they inbound, because with the 24-second clock, New Orleans is going to be able to hang on to the ball when they get it back.
Exactly. They're going to have to score here and then hope that they can get a
jump ball upcoming. James and Carr. James has the height advantage, but Carr is a good leaper.
Kaufman's upset. He thinks Slick Watts should be in the jump ball.
New Orleans comes out with the ball, but a quick whistle right away.
Yes, there's a violation on the jump ball. You cannot catch the ball unless a non-jumper touches it.
And James, of course, grabbed it himself. So it's Piston ball with 28 seconds remaining now. M.L. Carr will make the inbound play. They need a quick basket, and then they've got to get it back. Shoemate to Money. 22 seconds. Money left alone. 1-point game as Money hits. Now New Orleans wants a timeout, and that's a good idea. They'll have to inbound now from half court instead of under their own basket. So at least that way, if they lose it, it's not going to be an easy layup automatically for Detroit.
Exactly. They have the option, but I'm sure they'll take it at half court. Now the most important thing for the Jazz is the inbound pass. You can't do anything until you get the ball inbounds. If you make a careless pass, it could be very detrimental to their efforts thus far.
Elgin Baylor is wisely putting Gail Goodrich back in the game, and I think the reason for that is that Slick Watts is not a good free throw shooter, and in this situation where Detroit figures to foul intentionally if they don't get the steal right away, you want your best foul shooters on the floor.
Exactly. He'll probably take out Merriweather also because he's not a very good free throw shooter. If I was he, I'd put in maybe 3 forwards, even 3 guards, so that I made sure I had good ball handlers and good free throw shooters, because the Pistons have to go for the basketball.
It's difficult to see just what strategy Bob Kaufman is plotting, but before they can put that play into operation, they've got to get the ball back. They've brought in Rich Kelly, Paul Griffin, and Gail Goodrich, the better free throw shooters. Good move by Elgin Baylor. Maravich and Robinson remain. Skinner, Lanier, Shoemate, Money, and Carr on the floor for Detroit. Carr, with those long arms, will try and hound Griffin on the inbound play. Got 5 seconds to get it in. He finds Goodrich, and they foul him right away. Lanier doesn't like the call as he reached in on Goodrich, and that was not the man they wanted to foul. The foul comes with 16 seconds left. It's number 5 on Lanier.
No, that is not the guy they wanted to foul, because Gail Goodrich is an excellent free throw shooter. He's only shooting 79% this year. Here we have it again on slow-mo. You see Goodrich receives the inbound pass. He holds it. Lanier comes over and hits him right there. It's a belated whistle. I think Goodrich's little scream helped the official make the call a little bit.
Goodrich, who sustained an Achilles tendon injury last year, kept him out most of the season. Back with a strong campaign this time. Hits the first. This is the big one. It can give them a 3-point lead. And it rolls in. Detroit will stop the clock again. 98-95 Jazz. 16 seconds to play in the game.
That was very big free throws.
Slick Watts is going to come back in. He moves over to the scorer's table. And that worked out very well for Baylor, that little substitution, bringing in Goodrich. Gale comes in, hits both free throws. Now Watts checks back in.
Right, they brought Gale in for the offense because he's an excellent free throw shooter. Now they're bringing Slickway back in for the defensive purposes.
Hoffman once again wearing out his pencil.
Yes, I think what he's doing right now, he's trying to get a play that could possibly get him a foul. But on the other end of the floor, Elgin Baylor's telling his men, we don't have to worry about it. We can let them score if necessary because we're up 3. Do not give them a three-point play.
Do you favor the three-point shots, Stu? In this situation, there'd be plenty of excitement with that old ABA rule.
Exactly. I do, right, in this kind of a situation because, you know, instead of having 3 points and thinking you've got the game put away, you've got to go out and play good defense because the 25-footer, and you've got yourself overtime.
Another thing that three-point rule does, it forces the defense out a little higher, and thereby the middle is opened up. Exactly. And that makes it a freer flowing game, and guys can make more individual moves.
Exactly. I think you would see a lot of the doctor doing his thing, a lot of Pistol doing his thing, and various others who operate in the middle, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It wouldn't be as congested for him. So I think it would be a good rule to instate.
For the Jazz, Griffin, Kelly, Robinson, Watts, Maravich, Lanier, Shoemate, Carr, Skinner, and Money for Detroit. And now Watts is going to go back out, and Goodrich comes back in. Watts was out on the floor briefly, but then Elgin Baylor changed his mind. Here's Goodrich, and Skinner will make the inbound play. And it goes to Carr, 14 seconds. Skinner poked away by Maravich. Before the shot, Maravich picking up his third personal. The first foul in the final 2 minutes, and they weren't over the limit anyway.
That was a very good foul because they had the foul to use, and then they used it and let the Pistons use off a few seconds, and they got to take it out again. Now they only have 12 seconds to operate.
Money penetrating, trying to draw the foul, and his shot rolls through, but no foul. 5 seconds, 4. They get it up court, and this is going to do it. Robinson's going to stuff it to end the game. The game ends on a high note for Robinson and the Jazz. They haven't changed the scoreboard yet, so I'm not sure if the basket counts. I think it does. But whether or not they allow that bucket, New Orleans has won the game. And we're going to call it 100-97. That is a 5-game New Orleans winning streak now, which equals their